In this video, I'm going to show you how to integrate WhatsApp into your AI agents inside of n8n. So this is the very simple workflow that we'll be setting up today. The first thing that we need is a trigger. In this case, we'll be using WhatsApp. So all this does is it just waits until a WhatsApp message is sent, and then that's going to trigger the workflow to begin. And after that, the AI agent is going to take that information, it's going to do something with it based on the information that we give it in our system prompt, as well as whatever other nodes that we attach to it. So in this case, after it processes what to do with that information, then it's going to fire off a response back to that same WhatsApp conversation. So the first thing we need to do is add the trigger. So click this little plus icon and then just search up WhatsApp Business Cloud. And then if you go down to triggers, the trigger will be on messages because we're waiting for a message to be received. And if we click on it, we can see we have our WhatsApp credentials connected. So all you're going to do is click create new credential, and we can see it needs a client ID and a client secret. So in order for us to get these, we need to head over to business.facebook.com. And here's where you're going to see your own business account. I'm just using a burner right now, but if you go to the top left-hand corner and click the drop-down menu, you can click on create a business portfolio. All it's going to have you do is just put in a couple details about yourself and your business, and then you'll be good to go. Once we're inside the business portfolio, go down to apps, click on apps, and then all you're going to do is click on add, and then we're creating a new app. Create new app ID, and then you can put a name. So let's just do n8n test 1. And then you can put your email and click next. Now, if we scroll down to connect with customers through WhatsApp, you're going to want to select this. Now click on next. Make sure you connect the correct business portfolio on that last step, and then click next. And you're just going to click go to dashboard. Okay, now it's going to take us to this page. This is the dashboard. Click on this. It says customize the connect with customers through WhatsApp use case. Click on this. And then this is going to take us to this page. This is welcome to the WhatsApp business platform. And now we're going to see all these different options. Now, the main one is going to be the API setup. But first, go over here to app settings and click on basic. And now if we remember in n8n, we needed the client ID and the client secret. So what do we have here? We have the secret and the ID. So all I'm going to do is copy and paste this and paste it in and go back to Facebook and click on show so that it shows the whole thing. And then I'm going to copy this and paste in that client secret and then click save. So now it says connection tested successfully, so you're good to go. So now this is set up, and there's one more thing we're going to have to do with this, but for now, let's go back into n8n. This is set up and connected, but we have to add this AI agent. So all we're going to do is click this plus icon and look up AI agent. And then once we're in the AI agent, we want to switch this from connected chat trigger node to define below, because we're not connecting a chat trigger like this. We're not connecting one of these and then sending a message through. We're getting information from WhatsApp, and then we want it to use the prompt as the instructions as to what to do with that information. So you can see that's exactly what we did in this one. And then we have this prompt. This user message prompt is just the instructions that we're telling it, because information's coming in from the WhatsApp message. Someone messages us, and then the AI agent needs to know how to reply. So in this case, we're going to prompt it correctly and instruct it on exactly how we want it to interact with our customers. So if we open up this prompt, you're a friendly and helpful receptionist for FitX Gym, business hours, services. So we have all these instructions for it to follow. And by the way, although this is a very basic WhatsApp automation, I'll be posting my more advanced version along with a full breakdown inside of my community AI operators. I highly recommend you join if you're more serious about learning n8n and AI automation. And then after we write the system prompt, then we want to actually add the chat model. In this case, we're using OpenAI, and then we can add the memory and then click on simple memory. And again, the reason why we add this is because if someone sends a message saying like, what about Saturday into the AI, that seems to be the first message that it's receiving. It's going to be like totally confused about what you're asking. But if it has the context from beforehand where we were asking, what days are you available? What times? Oh, does Tuesday work? Well, what about Saturday? Then it has the context and it's going to be able to remember, right? This is very fundamental for any kind of chat agent. So this is the beauty of using something like n8n, where we can connect all these different nodes to this AI agent to try to make it the best we can. And then attached, we had this OpenAI model. Right now we're using 4.1 mini. Click on this plus button, go to Google Sheets, add append or update row and sheet. And then we're just going to draw a line here and connect. And if we click into this, we just want to make sure our Google account is connected. I have a video in my free community going over how to do that, but if you want me to make a video on it, just leave me a comment down below. Next, you're just going to select the document. So now if we go into Google Sheets, I have this gym info document, and each column is named accordingly. So we have the date, time, phone, question, and response. So I'm just going to select the correct document. You have gym info, and then the same sheet, just sheet 1. And now it's going to automatically map which values to send. So now that that's connected, the next step is to go to that WhatsApp send node. We're going to be sending that message back, right? Because we received that message here, but now we actually have to process it, store the data, and then send the message back. So now we need to click on create new credential, and now we see the access token and the business account ID. So if we go back to Meta and then click on this again, customize the connect with customers through WhatsApp use case, or you can just click over on use cases on the left-hand side. It'll get you to the same place. Now we go to API setup, or just click on that giant green banner right there. Click generate access token. Now just go through these steps and copy the access token back to n8n, paste that in. And And then if we scroll down here, we have the test number. This is the number that's going to be sending from. And then we have the WhatsApp business account ID. So let's copy this and paste it here and then click save. Successfully connected. Now just click this drop down and go to the test number, select the test number. And you can see that matches up with the number here. But if we actually want to add a real phone number for ourselves or our client, click the drop down and then click on add phone number. And then you want to add your phone number, business name. Now, if you already have a personal number on WhatsApp, you don't want to use a personal number here. You want to use a separate business number or a separate cell phone number because otherwise it can cause issues. So now we have this all connected to the entire thing so that the message is then going to be processed. The AI agent's going to come up with a message to send back. It's going to be processed. And then it says text body. This message is what we're going to be sending back. But if we want to test this, we can simply just disconnect this here and then put text body as hello. And then I can just paste in my actual phone number. And now let's just test that this send node actually works. So what I did here was I connected a manual trigger and I pinned some code here. If you see this JSON, all it is it's the number and then a message saying this is a test message from n8n. And again, remember that you can always pin data. So instead of having to constantly run and execute the workflow over and over again to test, you can just pin the data and continue to reuse it. So I pinned the data there. And with WhatsApp, there's an anti-spam rule with the WhatsApp API. So you have to message them first before they can message you. So in order to test, I have my phone number here. And what I did here, just to test that we can receive input information and that it's going to work correctly, all I did was I just took the information from the previous node, which was us manually sending my phone number. And I'm just dragging this in and you can see it says json.phone because it's just a variable expression that's just pulling from the previous node. Then we have the message here. So this is the message that the AI is actually going to spit out for the response. So this is a test message from n8n. Okay, so if we click execute node, you can see that a message just came through. So it works. So now we have the WhatsApp connected to receive the information here as the WhatsApp trigger, start the workflow, have it be processed, and then eventually be sent back over as a message response. So let's go ahead and connect this back up. Now with Google Sheets, what we need to do is we need to test the whole workflow and then see if it's actually going to be able to pull the information, see if we can drag those values into these fields. So let's try it. Okay, click execute workflow. So as you can see, we had the memory set up as connected chat trigger node. We don't want to have that. Okay, we want to define it as the session ID from the actual conversation that we're having, because that way it can remember, okay, right, we're still in this conversation and that way it can have a memory. Let's just use this instead. And that's just this ID here. So if we just drag this ID in, it'll then remember our conversation with that phone number. And then we have the context window length, how many interactions. And again, let's just make sure this is 10. I must not have saved that. Let's make sure we save that this time. So now let's open up the WhatsApp node. We just need to fill in the blanks. So recipient's phone number. Let's go to the recipient's phone number. That's this phone number right here and log that. I had all this previously saved, but I changed it for the demo. And we can see that it's correct because it has my phone number right here. And I'll probably blur that out. And then for the text body, we actually want this output here because this is the message that we're going to be sending back. We don't want the message that we sent from the WhatsApp trigger. We want the message from the AI agent as the output. So let's execute that step now. And we can see it says, hi again, how can I assist you with FitX gym info today? Okay, so it sent us the message. So now we have the message going back to the person who sent us the message. So now that the chat agent works and it's actually going to respond to the questions, I want to store the information somewhere. So if you click into this Google Sheets node, the response is actually going to be from the AI agent output. The question is going to be what I said. So it's going to be this text body here. As hello. I already have it set up on this sheet and I changed something with the date and time because I forgot it's in ISO 8601 format. And if you don't know what that is, this is one of the big problems with the voice agent video. If you haven't watched that, I highly recommend you check that out. And again, this is the importance of learning n8n thoroughly because yeah, can I use the n8n AI agent and have automations just, popped up like that? Yeah, of course. But although that sounds flashy and nice, the hard thing is actually understanding data and making sure that when problems go wrong, you can fix them for your clients, or at least know how to communicate that with your team, right? So this is the format of the date and time, and you can see it says 2025, December 9th, and then with the conversion to Eastern time, it's 3:44 p.m. So that's here now. We have the date and time. Then we have the phone number. So we need to go to the WhatsApp trigger and look for the customer's phone number, which is my phone number in this case. And then we just want to make sure that this column to match on is selected on the first one. So now let's actually test the workflow. Let's run this once and for all and make sure that it works. I'm gonna send a message saying hello. Okay, so the message is fired off and it's complete. And it said, hi there. How can I assist you with FitX gym info today? And if we go into the Google Sheet, we can see that the date and time, phone, question, and response were recorded. So that's it for this video and how you actually connect WhatsApp to your AI agents in n8n. As I mentioned earlier, if you want more advanced workflows, I highly recommend you join my private community down in the description. I really appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next video.